It was a nice, sunny day. Daichi and Sugaru had spent the entire weekend together and they were now on a date. After a day of mini golfing, they ended their night at a restaurant. Daichi, what are you ordering? I'm gonna have cold soba noodles with sesame dipping sauce. Sounds good. I'm getting maki and nigiri sushi. And maybe some uramaki. And some sashimi. Sounds good. My wallet. After they were served, they began to eat and talk a bit. Sugaru had asked for some of Daichi's food and he would have refused if it wasn't for the cute pouting face Sugaru made. When they finished, they took a bus to their neighborhood. I'll walk you home. What? No, you don't need to, but thanks. I really don't mind, Suga. Well, if you insist. They held hands and talked some more until they reached Sugaru's home. I had a wonderful weekend, Daichi. Me too. Can we do this again next weekend? Of course, but we should also sneak some studying in. Haha, yeah, I guess you're right. Well, I'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, see you tomorrow. Get back safely, okay? Text me when you get home. I will. Daichi leaned in and kissed Sugaru on the lips and wrapped him in a hug. Aw, now I'm gonna miss you. Don't, we'll see each other tomorrow at school, haha. He kissed him on his forehead. Now go inside, I'll leave when I see you go in. Okay, I love you. I love you too. After Sugaru went inside, Daichi left and made it home safely. It was the next day and Sugaru had woken up for school. I can't wait to see Daichi today. Sometimes I feel like I'm a bit obsessed with him. He put on his school clothes and made his way to school a bit early. When he got on school grounds, he saw a few students walking around outside before class started. Suga. Oh, hi Asahi. You're here early too? Yeah, I woke up a bit early. Do you know if Daichi is here yet? I'm not sure. Let's walk around and look for him. Sure. They began to walk. Have your studies been going well? Yeah, haha. I should be okay for now. Same. Lately, I've been hanging out with Daichi every other weekend. Maybe I should focus a bit more? Yeah, that's a good idea. But you two are so good for each other. I can tell you're both happy. I'm really, really happy with Daichi. It's the same for you and Noe, right? I can tell you're getting more comfortable with him. Asahi turned as red as a tomato. Yes. He's very special to me. As they were walking around the corner, they spotted Daichi get up and leave the spot where the volleyball girls hang out in the mornings. He walked towards them. Suga, Asahi, how's it going? Daichi, did you sleep well? I did. Hey, I was looking for you. Oh, did you need something? Yes, I wanted to talk to you about something. Oh, I'll give you guys some privacy then. No, you don't need to leave. It's fine, Asahi. Okay, see you later then. I'll come find you in class later, okay? Yeah. While leaving to enter the school because the bell was going to ring in a couple of minutes, Sugaru thought to himself why Daichi was with the volleyball girls, but he didn't think about it too much. A few classes had passed by now and they were having lunch. Sugaru decided to have his lunch in the classroom. Sugaru? Oh, yes? Daichi was asking for you a while ago. I think he's near class 1. Ah, thank you for informing me. No problem, see ya. Sugaru got up and left the classroom. He was happy that Daichi was asking for him and wanted to get to him quickly. Once he was close to class 1, he overheard two people having a conversation. Once again, sorry about earlier, my friends were coming so I had to leave. Oh, no, it's totally fine. I'm just happy that you're doing this all for me. Yeah, I'll gladly end things with him. For you, You should get back to him now. Sugaru's waiting for you, right? Yeah, he probably is. See you later, Michimiya. Yeah, Sugaru couldn't believe what he had heard. Something just for her? And things? His heart was pounding. He didn't know what to think. He called me his friend. He couldn't stand it. When he saw that Daichi was going to turn around, he ran off before he could be seen. He ran to the bathroom and hid in one of the stalls for the rest of lunchtime. After the bell rang, Sugaru couldn't focus on the subjects anymore. He worried about everything that he heard between Yui and Daichi. Will Daichi break up with me? Just at the thought of that happening, Sugaru was in tears. He rushed out of the classroom and ran to a bathroom stall again. His thoughts were wandering everywhere. He thought things like Daichi doesn't love me anymore and Daichi's gonna leave me for her. He was afraid that the bond he built with Daichi would just be easily broken. Afraid that he would lose the love of his life today. He cried and sobbed and let his yells out, not caring if anyone could hear. His thoughts were irrational, but that's what fear does to someone who will lose something so dear and precious to them. Losing the one person in the world you could share everything with, because that's what Daichi was to him. As his tears began to slow down, heard the bathroom door open. "Sugawara, is that you?" He spoke from outside the stall. Sugawara couldn't respond, the pain made it hard for him to speak. I saw you run out. I don't think anyone else was paying attention, but I came to check up on you. Is everything okay? Should I go get Daichi?" He forced his words out. "No, I don't want to see him right now." "What happened? Suga, please come out at least." Sugawara was hesitant at first, but he decided he shouldn't brood for too long, so he exited the stall. "Sorry, I know, you don't have to explain anything to me. I'm worried about you. I've never seen you like this. I'm okay, I think I misunderstand something and I got a bit emotional about it." "Okay, good. You should wash your face before we go back." Sugawara looked in the mirror and saw what a mess his face was. "Right, haha, thank you for reminding me." Sugawara washed his face in the sink and dried it off before him and his classmate walked out of the bathroom into the empty hallway. "Hey, I want to thank you for getting me out of that state. I don't know how I would handle it if you didn't show up when you did." "No problem, Suga. Is it okay if I call you that?" "Haha, yes, it's okay." "Great, you need a hug?" "Actually, I do, if you don't mind." The student hugged Sugawara and rubbed his back to comfort him. "Suga?" Sugawara flinched at the sound of his voice. Daichi? "Hey Daichi." Suga was "We should get to class." "Huh? Oh right." He didn't want to see him for some reason. "Wait, Suga? What's going on? I have to go." "Sorry Daichi." Sugawara walked away with his head down. What was that? When he made it back to the room, the next class was about to begin, so he packed his things. During the next classes, he decided to focus on the work so that he wouldn't overthink anymore. After school was over, he had to deal with going to practice. He had walked to the club room and was afraid to enter. "Sugawara-san? Why are you just standing there?" "Yeah, what's going on? What's up?" "Oh, I get it. You're trying to surprise Daichi, huh? I'll help you out." "I doubt. Brew, that's totally it." "Suga, you sneaky man." "Huh? Oh, that's not it. See, you." No, don't try to back out now." MHM anger symbol. Tanaka bursted open the club room door and everyone stared in their direction. Tanaka. "What? Yo, Daichi. Here's your boyfriend." "Surprise. Brew, they're so cute." "Right." Sugawara blushed at Daichi, who just stared back at him. He turned his head away from him. Bro, I think you fucked up." "Me? You're the one who didn't stop me. I tried to tell you, but two dumbasses are impossible to control, especially you two." Sugawara's eyes watered. He's just going to ignore me? No, I won't let him do this to me. "So it true what you said then?" Daichi faced Sugawara. "What did I say?" "I heard you. I heard what you said. That you'd end things with me to get with her. I overheard your conversation earlier." "What? Know that?" "Daichi, I thought you were different. I thought you would be the one who wouldn't break my heart. I didn't think you would plan to break up with me and not just honestly tell me that you didn't love me anymore." "Suga, none of that is true. I would never do that and you know it." Sugawara knew that Daichi wasn't that type of person, but in this moment, he was scared, so he denied it. "You would." Daichi wore a hurt expression as his eyes darkened. "What about you then?" "What? Your classmate from before. You two came out of the bathroom and were all touchy with each other." "What? That wasn't anything. Was it that, for whatever reason, you thought that I would end things with you, so you used that to move on so quickly?" Sugawara now looked hurt. "Is that the type of person he thinks I am? You guys, this is getting..." "Stop. Let him speak. You know my past. Why would I ever become the person who made me so miserable?" "I don't know. Maybe he rubbed off on you. Maybe you never lost contact with him and you still..." "No. How dare you say that to me?" Daichi jumped as if he had just woken up from a trance and realized what he said. "Suga." Tears were falling down Sugawara's face, more than they were earlier. He was trembling. Daichi's eyes widened. Sugawara exited the club room with his things. Everyone was in silence as they all just watched and listened, afraid to say anything during the argument. Hinata had tears in his eyes while Kageyama was comforting him. Yanagachi was sitting on the floor with his knees to his chest, surprised at what just occurred. Both Tanaka and Nishinoya had a look of guilt on their faces. Daichi, are you okay? I'm sorry everyone, you didn't need to see that. And I'm sorry Asahi, I shouldn't have cut you off like that. No, it's okay, you should go after Suga, right? I don't think I should. I'll talk to coach and see if we can cancel practice. I think we all need a break after that. Yeah, that's a good idea. Once again, I'm sorry everyone. Daichi looked out of it. He grabbed his things and left the club room without another word. When Sugawara got home, he immediately ran into his room. He even ignored his family who called out to him because he just felt so guilty. He went through all of the moments that played out and realized that he was being irrational. He assumed a lot of things and didn't give Daichi any chance to explain anything or defend himself. He argued like that in front of everyone and just made bad decisions overall, especially walking out after everything. I'm so stupid. Why did I act like that? Daichi would never do that to me and I know it, but I still hurt him. And I know he didn't mean anything he said, but I snapped. He cried and cried until all of his tears were gone. I have to apologize tomorrow, but I can't go to school, I can't. Sugawara laid himself in bed. He didn't eat dinner, he didn't take a bath, he just wrapped himself in a blanket he stole from Daichi and fell asleep from crying so much. During the day, Sugawara thought out what he would say to Daichi. He had been locked in his room for the entire morning and hadn't checked the messages from his friends and family. He wanted to make sure he was genuine in his apology and that he would be able to explain how he felt yesterday, but not to make excuses. He wanted to communicate better with Daichi because communication is important in a relationship. I need to be better for Daichi. Hopefully, he forgives me. If he doesn't, he began to cry again. I would hate myself forever. Because this is completely my fault. My misunderstanding. My miscommunication. My mistake. If he decides to break up with me, I will accept it even if it hurts. Sugawara got up from his bed and kept the blanket around him. It smells like him. He grew more sad as he walked into the kitchen to make himself a snack. When he opened the fridge, he saw that his family had left him some lunch from earlier, since it was now evening and they were out, with a note on it that read, "We know that you aren't feeling okay, but we hope that you feel better soon. We hate seeing you hurting and hearing you cry, so eat this and be happy again." Sugawara took a moment to take a breath. I have to make everything right again. Sugawara was determined to make everything normal. He decided to leave once he finished eating. When he arrived at Daichi's front door, he hesitated to knock. He thought about the words he wanted to say again, and once his courage built up, he knocked on the door. It took a while, but the front door finally opened. "Did you forget something?" Sugawara stood in shock as he saw Daichi with the most red and swollen eyes ever. He looked exhausted as he answered the door with a blanket wrapped around him that he had stolen from Sugawara. "Suga? What are you?" Sugawara's eyes watered, but he held back his tears. He cleared his throat. "Daichi, is it okay if we talk for a bit?" "Why yes, please come inside." "Okay." Daichi awkwardly stepped aside to let Sugawara in. They were both being awkward with each other, but Sugawara hoped that wouldn't be the case by the time this is over. They walked into the living room and sat together on the sofa, but there was a lot of space between them. "My family just left, so we don't have to worry about them interrupting." "Oh, okay." There was a long, silent pause before Sugawara spoke up. "Daichi, I want to apologize to you for what I did yesterday. I should not have assumed things based on half the conversation. I should have let you explain things to me, but instead I was irrational and made some mistakes. I should have talked to you privately, but I was scared. I thought that you were going to break up with me, but I realized that that was a dumb thing to assume. I not only accused you, but I hurt you in the process. I wasn't being a good partner, and I hate myself for that. I know that you would never ever do the thing that I accused you of. I know that you didn't mean anything that you said to me, but I really thought I would lose you. I thought I would never be happy again because you would leave me. If I lost you, I would lose the best thing in my life, because that is what you are to me. You are the love of my life." Daichi saw Amura. "And I really hope that this is enough to earn at least your forgiveness, because I don't even deserve that. And I understand if you don't want to stay with me after what I did, but I want you to know what I really am sorry. I will learn to be a better partner for you. I want nothing more for you than to be happy. Sugara was in tears. So, you're not breaking up with me? No, definitely not. He sighed in relief. Kaushi Sugara, I forgive you and I love you. I know that I said some horrible things to you yesterday. I can't forgive myself for the words that I said. And I accused you as well. I don't know what came over me. I know that friends can hug each other and I didn't mean to sound so toxic. After thinking for a while, I realized that he was just comforting you when you were upset. I think that I was jealous in that moment, but that doesn't excuse my behavior. I'm so sorry that I didn't make the situation any better. I was being childish. And it was all my fault. No, Daichi. I was the childish one. It's my fault for sure. I shouldn't be the one accepting your apology, but I still can't forgive myself. He was in tears. Once I realized what I said, I wanted to take it back. Sugara places his hand on Daichi's. It's okay. I'm just happy that everything is okay with us now. Oh, well, is it? Yes, everything is okay now. Can I hug you? Daichi yanked Sugara into his arms and squeezed him tightly. I'll never let you out of my life. I can promise you that. And I'll be a better partner for you and work on my communication. I will too. After a few minutes of cuddling, Daichi had explained to Sugara that he and Yui were talking about a guy that had been bothering her and Daichi was going to help her out. They discussed things further and decided that they would apologize to everyone at practice tomorrow. They stayed together for the night. From this situation, they learned that they should always confide in each other and practice communicating to each other so that they won't make the same mistakes. The end.